Hello everyone, welcome back to Feldy. I'm just kind of in the middle of a little hedge trimming project. It's kind of encroaching on our road. While the guys were over there planting, I figured I'd take a little time to trim some of the bushes around here. I think I've got one last little dab to do on the end. Alright, let me turn that off. I'll maybe get turned around. I think I started over here, as I recall, and I did the hedge around the cell spot. There's a few, not all the hedges in the map here are trimmable. Oh, here we could check out our crop that's growing over here, sugar beets and barley, I believe. So not all of it is trimmable, but some of these are. The stuff on the right isn't, and I'm not sure why. That's just how Farmer Yip designed things. So we will take a course down. I think we got some down the hill. Woo! That turned me around quick. Got to use my lights. It's getting kind of a little bit on in the. Actually, you know what? Does this need trimming? Maybe we should wait till daylight. Let me see if I can coax any cuts from here. Oh yeah, it's cutting some. Kind of getting down to the level where it's cutting. Oh yeah, it's tearing some off. We're doing some good. Well, I'll maybe get to the end down here and just take a pause and go back out to the planting field. Guys were working hard, and I think they have the field in the back planted. So we need to go move the machinery. One little dab up the hill here to get. Oh yeah, that just kind of shows up there. It is kind of interesting working with this hedge. It's kind of a trial just to get it down to cutting height, and then kind of interesting interacting with it to hit the exact pixels where it takes stuff out. Kind of got to get down to the level that it is. Yeah, it's doing an alright job. Just an awesome additional feature that Farmer Yip added, and it's probably something appreciated a lot more by his fans in the UK, or kind of in that area where you have a lot of hedge to trim. We have hedges here too. Used to have more, actually, way back in the day. I know in the 1930s in the Midwest there was the Great Dust Bowl, and I know following that they planted lots of hedges to kind of help slow the wind down and account for some of that. And as I understand it, once the crisis passed, and in more recent days, a lot of the farmers have simply eradicated their hedges. But you know what? Probably the day is coming when we're going to get a dust bowl again at some point. Seems like all those things kind of come in cycles, come and go. And maybe they will wish they had kept some of their hedges. But as farm sizes have increased, it's just been impractical to work around it with the large machinery that they have anymore, and to join fields and some of that to make it a little easier for working on. It's just what they've done, so a lot of the hedge is gone. Well, here we are taking it out. It's kind of floating. Oh, how nice. Some of the collisions are off on these fence posts. Makes it a little easy to come along and trim this up. Thankfully, it's pretty forgiving in how we're doing it here. I think we have to step. Oh, I don't know. Some of this, yeah, it's curious to try to figure out where exactly is the hedge. There, I would have taken a bite out of the fence to get it trimmed. But I'll just keep chipping away at it in here while we're doing other things. If it's on hire, if I've got hired men doing other things, then I can come trim the hedge. I don't think you can hire anybody to do this. and it probably wouldn't be worth your while to set up a, oops, what did I hit that button for? Wouldn't be worth your while to set up a course play to try to tackle it anyhow. But it just kind of a relaxing thing to do. It's really cool that he has it in here. It's kind of like another growable crop, and it's on a longer term cycle, you know, than the rest of our crops, so we aren't in here every day cutting the bushes. Alright, so that takes care of that little strip in there, so maybe we'll just kind of head on down over here, and I'll maybe leave it parked right here at the edge of the field on a hill. We'll set our brake, and let's head on out to our field. Don't need you this trip, not you or you. We cut, here we go. Hey, note to self. And I don't know if this is in-game or a feature or just this particular, actually I'm over here in the Land Rover, but I'm referring to this planter over here. Does everything, I think it does. Everything is unfolded when you start things off. So when I save the game, I happened to park this silly thing real close, and this was folded up. And of course, when I came in game, this was down, and what it ended up doing was turning the trailer upside down and actually detached it. So not a good idea, just one of those things. But anyways, let me try to get this out. Now, we came into this field over here, kind of around the southern edge of this peninsula here. We planted this field, we've planted this one, and we have, the road continues. There really isn't anything. There's a little bit of grass, but eventually we're going to come out either in this pasture, or excuse me, not the pasture, our hay field, or it's going to be near where the cattle are. I don't recall exactly. I kind of think it's up in here though. So there's kind of a road that I put in here, so we'll just kind of meander our way back. And I guess I'm sending the Land Rover first because I want to see how nasty it is. Let me turn the lights on so I can see. I want to see how nasty it is to navigate here. Here we kind of have a chasm right in the middle of all this rock. Farmer must have paid a small fortune to get this path cut through, and he didn't pay enough in my opinion, because here we're on better road. It's a little flatter in this area. Kind of just coming through here. We're going to end up seeing the water again go through this tree. We truly are on an island, and you know, if I look at it, okay, I do have it kind of, yeah, I had to create a cliff, otherwise it kind of messes with your immersion because you kind of see the edge of the map. But we are on the far northern edge of the map. And actually, this road seems to be a little better shape, just coming along in here. Of course, maybe I'm saying that because it isn't right next to the water where I'm traveling. But it's kind of another meandering road in here that we just sort of patched in right along the edge of the rocks, and there's this grove of trees over here. Alright, we see down there below too, there's a little bit of grass meadow in here, and kind of like that tall alpine meadow up there, if you will. I suppose if you were desperate for grass, you could come down in here, and there'd be a little bit in here you could grab. Just a little bit, and you are truly farming on the edge if you do that. You know, if we come over here and kind of take a look, it's kind of a high cliff, if you will. I don't know if we can see down there. Yeah, there's not even a beach down there. It's just kind of, that's the literal edge of the map there. And I tried my best to hide it along the other edge. Maybe if you drove near the edge here, you'd be able to see the map edge, but we won't. We'll head back in. Notice, Russell, I am getting into the vehicle on the correct side of the vehicle. I figured I'd tell you that so you could be proud of me. So, a little bit of grass in here. This is area opened up because we have enough hogs in there. It kind of opened this up. This was an additional gate we put onto the place in similar style to what Farmer Yip did. So, yeah, now this is one nasty road in here too. This is going to be a big bump going up. And so we'll try to get around. So, I guess I could bring the machinery up in here. There's kind of a horseshoe bend in here as we come around, and soon we'll be dropping out into, I believe, our hayfield. Kind of narrow in here. It's a nasty, nasty road. There's just got to be a way to smooth this better in the editor, but I'm just not very good at it. Okay, as we were thinking, we came right into our hayfield here. So let me just see here. I know we could drive across these. I'll try to go down around the edge. We have machinery now to bring through here, and it's going to be a little treacherous. I'm going to bring the planter first, and we'll see if we can get it out of the brush. Because I believe, we'll be coming right on the backside of fields that are needing to be planted here as we kind of swing around our machinery there to create feed. So we got this field dead ahead. We have one up the hill here. I'm just going to get my tanks out here now in case they need something. You know I'm going to have to move that tractor because probably the first one I'm going to attempt to plant is straight ahead. Right up there on the hill, so let me sneak across this one while it doesn't have a crop in it. So I have this all ready to go. I'll just kind of put it at the entrance here. Oh yeah, and this field over to the left is going to need it as well. But anyway, we got this safely over. Now for our tractor and sewing machine. You know, and I guess when we get up to this height here, we couldn't see it with the Land Rover, but I guess we can overlook. We've already planted these fields just on the other side of this escarpment of rock here. So we've already planted the ad. You can see it growing over there in the distance. Far in the distance, we see the tower and the hut where right up in here, this is where the water pump and the well is. But for the moment, let's try to navigate our back road here. I'm going to probably have to try to take it easy or I'm going to get in trouble. Actually, I'm a little higher in the air. I can kind of see this a little better. I don't know if it's any better in cab. No, not really better in cab. Probably speed up just a little bit along here, but I got to be careful because the water is in direct proximity to us, and it's just such a bugaboo to get a smooth road. I really wish someone would drop a comment about roads on how to smooth them, particularly in these older versions. And you know, I made a cliff. It obviously stretches out the textures. It doesn't look the best here in Farming Simulator 11 the way it is. It's really rocks, just like we see over here on the right, but it's just stretching it down to the water's edge. Maybe to help with that, I should drag in some 3D objects and put them kind of along the cliff so it's rockier and you don't notice the distorted textures that are stretched. But I don't know, this may be the one and only time while I'm on the save that I actually spend any substantive time back here. Oh man, that was a hairpin corner. I'm going to have to be careful when I bring the fertilizer spreader in here. Yeah, this kind of horseshoe bend in here. And just what in the world possessed me to try to put something in back here, I'll never know, but it is definitely something I did a long time ago. I since have tweaked it, and added some things to it and whatnot. But it was part of the experimenting I was doing kind of in the earlier days when I first got into Farming Sim. Just to learn a little about how to map, how the editor works, and some of that kind of thing. Since Farmer Yip left a portion of his map undeveloped, I figured I would go in and mod it a little bit further. Incidentally, he did that also. Maybe that's his style, I don't know. He also did that on another of his maps called Glen Ellie, which I have a small series on in Farming Simulator 15. He left an area, actually the same area, it's kind of ironic, over on the west side of the map. Left it undeveloped. Actually, I'm going to go clear to the far end on this one, because I think I got to kind of do along the edge. But he left the far west side undeveloped on it as well, so I know when I made some, again, just learning how to mod and started tweaking and messing with his map, that's kind of an area I developed in it. So I don't know, maybe he has something against the West Coast. I don't know. Alright, so we're back over here. I think we are in territory where we want to... Wait a minute now, you know what? We need some corn here, right? Because our dairy cattle need some chaff. Alright, that's going to inform what we plant. Let's put in some corn. So I'm going to get kind of this far edge over here planted. I think I'll take a double strip and try to knock it in up here, and then we will hire the rest of the field done. And let me see here, probably to try to be somewhat realistic, I should come along the edge of our hedge here, back in to get this rather than just driving through, which is exactly what I would do if I was off cam. So, oh hey, by George, I think we got that. So let me take a quick trip down here again, and it should hire just fine. But I think this field, kind of like the other steep one that we did over on the far northwest corner, it's so miserable steep, even on this field. And the one to the east of it, it's going to leave some strips. Oh, and there I drove right through a hedge. Oh, you wouldn't do that in real life. Anyway, so we don't waste a trip here, we'll just take another strip or kind of cut it off a little bit while we're at it. Make this a little broader. Up here, let's hire it done. We got barley on the other side of us, but we're gonna put this in corn so we can chaff it. And probably, let me see here. Oh, I've got to first get it straight. Oh, and you know what? He's gonna run right into where I parked my vehicle down there, so I gotta go rectify that. Alright, there we go. Not you, not you. We'll come back to you. You're gonna need to move eventually. Not you, not you. Or you. Aha. Okay, so let me just sneak this down into the field. Look at that, even missed the fence. Get it turned around because I know I'm going to need to bring it up here. That way there's room for him to plant. Now we can turn around, make it easy. Okay, let me head back out to here. Oh yeah, you know what? Let me come back to you. I got to move this other guy because he's kind of sitting in the way. Which one? Which one? All 3, maybe 8. Yeah. Let's move you. I want to try to trim this hedge here, but let me just move him down out of the way for the moment. Sorry this bounces around so miserable much. All of my ineptitude driving. Oh yeah, let's take a pause. I was going to, since we got more grass coming, I was going to purchase a couple more animals. Let's see which way. maybe doubling it. So let's get 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's right. And back in these days, the cows were named Alma. Welcome, Alma. So somewhere out in our pasture, Alma is now enjoying the pasture. And there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. All right. 8 cattle. I think at some point it quits counting. But anyway, got that out of the way. So this is out of the way. He's planting. And let me head back out here. All right, I'm going to have to... He's full up on fuel. Hopefully we won't use it all up. I had a dickens of a time getting him out here. At least get into the field where it's smooth. And let me try to... I'm going to go around this way. I'm not going to go on the edge. Similar to how we did that other field down there. Because it's probably going to be a booger. And it ain't going to want to turn. Oh, it did. Alright. So we'll at least make ourselves an edge on this steep field. And we'll get her nice and fertilized. So we can get our tractor back out of the woods. Yikes. Yeah, don't look over the edge. That's basically a long trip to the bottom down there. But you know what? We're getting the job done. That's the main thing. Here's kind of where we started. So, why don't I come? I'm going to have to see if I can turn around. This is so steep. Now I want to kind of hug the edge. Oh, there I lifted it up. So we'll come along here and we'll do it the way we've been doing it. Spreading our kelp fertilizer. And probably at any particular spot on this map, a guy could smell the kelp forest because we are surrounded by ocean. The motion of the ocean. I think I commented on this in a previous video. I'm pretty sure I've seen on maps of the UK where they have fields that are on cliffs that overlook, the ocean at times. But I don't know that they are arable fields. Maybe if someone is from the UK, they could comment on that if anybody happens to be from the UK watching this. I just don't know. Because, here's the thing. We are spreading a chemical, it's fertilizer, and it's kelp. I know in this case it's maybe somewhat natural. But anytime you're doing arable farming, unless you are doing it, organically, there's going to be chemical to apply. And of course in Farm Sim 11, all we have is fertilizer, both granular and liquid. And maybe there'd be manure, but in real life farming, you would have chemicals. And so what I don't know is if they allow farmers to spread chemicals when you're that close to the beach, where there might be, or maybe not the beach, just the ocean, where there's going to be fish and people and water runoff down hills and, that kind of thing. I know here, I'm sure there are regulations. I know there's regulations on how close to waterways they allow you to get while still doing farming activity. Alright, so we got it fertilized. Now let's see if we can navigate our machine. Come on, track behind. There we go. Down to 27%. I'm going to end up using more fertilizer this go around because there's a couple extra... not over there. Yammers. This is... I wonder if I should just... If I put it on 1, if I put it on 2, can I do that? Go a little faster. I think it's flatter down here. There we go. There we go. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, for running it in here, it's kind of painful because it's so bumpy. But yeah, careful. Just don't want this bounding over the edge. And you know what? Let me do an ounce of prevention. Let's save it. Doesn't take long. Just in case I lose it over the edge and would never get it back. Well, the only way I could deal with it is I have to literally sell it. There's no way. Well, I don't want to do a reset. That's for sure. But what do you guys think? I mean, when you go on a road like this, I know we all expect it to be bumpy, but when I'm that close to water's edge and my fingers are trembling, I mean, I use keyboard steering, of course. Oh, okay, here, I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna try to do this. I'm not gonna take that hairpin corner. I'm gonna come out here and take a broad sweep. And kudos to Yip. I have no idea how he made all these mountain ranges. There was already kind of a natural valley kind of coming up the rock, if you will. You know, the rock came through here, so I flattened it. But there was kind of an area in here where I think the original map had it, and then it was kind of just natural. I had to just flatten it just enough. Oh, they were kind of going off a hairpin. Why didn't I swing wide? What an idiot. Do. Okay, I should have swung a little over here. Need to put in signs or something to remind me. This is bumpy down in here too. The whole place is bumpy. But the point is it already had something in here, which is kind of what gave me the idea to just develop it a little bit further as kind of a secret way to get to this other field. And I don't know if it's quicker coming this way than it was, you know, coming in the other way. I do know coming the way we're doing, that we're coming out here, there is no gate, so in theory we could have accessed both of those fields much sooner than this, before we got into hogs. But you know, I mean, it's hairy enough getting back in there, and then that other field would for sure be a nasty long drive. So you know what, the timing is just fine as it is. Fortunately, I have enough gas to get myself out of here. Alright, finally we're back on normal gravel. I'll get this up kind of over in the general. Actually, maybe I'll just park it right here. I gotta kind of wait for... Matter of fact, let me go see how he's doing. Let me go to number 3, seeding. Trying to take on the hill. Yeah, it's just steep enough. It almost leaves streaks up here, but it's definitely going to leave streaks kind of on the side hill here. But he's happily planting away. Let me head over to our hedge trimmer, and I'll keep cutting the bush. Okay, I think I have some strips in here to do, so I'm gonna head back into this. Let me get this going. Back in. I think I took care of that, didn't I? I'll just zip along. Oop! Oh, I hit a collision somewhere in there. Somebody had a collision. I still think, even though I tried to take them off, there's still something interfering with the tractor, like when I come through here. Definitely ain't the fence. You can see what that's doing. Turn on the lights. I think I'm getting this well enough. I know it'll let me do it in a faster speed, but that's probably not the speed. I'm probably going the speed now that maybe you do it more in real life. And interestingly, some of these hedges do grow outside of the row or kind of down the edge. Maybe he did it that way so the player would have to adjust the head a little bit more. I mean, you see all the input bindings on this. The simplest, of course, is pulling the legs out and switching it on and off. See, am I getting it all here? Appears to be. But there's 4 different controls beyond that. Oops, didn't mean to turn them off, you know, where there's all these different arms and things to rotate. Maybe with a mouse, a guy could do it. I don't know if the mice, I don't even know if the mice are active on this particular one. So for me, I know I just basically get it set up so that I know it'll mow the hedge, and then I take off and use it kind of like I'm doing, where it looks hopefully close to where the actual level is, which I believe it is, and where it actually cuts it and gets the job done. And you notice it also cuts the grass underneath it, and I've wondered, I'll maybe have to pay attention, maybe somewhere I should just cut a strip somewhere and see if it regrows. I don't know if it will. I know it regrows, you know, when I'm doing that, or the hedge regrows, but I don't know if the grass underneath regrows. Hopefully it does. As we all heard, the bell just went, so... Well, and maybe with that, I can close the episode out. I'm just cutting away on the hedge, trying to trim the bushes up. We have our hired man working the field over here, planting some corn that we hope to feed to our dairy cattle this coming winter as we make some chaff for them to eat. And we are trimming the hedge, trying to clean the place up a little bit. So maybe if Farmer Yip ever came for a visit, he wouldn't be ashamed to show up. So we're trying to take care of things and make things look nice and tidy. Thank you so much for watching once again. I enjoyed going through the new area of the map and planting some of those fields for the first time and seeing how hard it was to navigate our machinery kind of through the back route. Not sure I'll ever plant them again, but we'll see. But thank you for coming along to see Feldy once more. You all have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Thank you.